The camera opens on a silent film set just before sunrise. The lights are off, the cameras are still, and the world has not woken up yet. But something feels wrong, almost like the calm before a storm. Someone important is missing. The crew members move around in confusion, whispering like they are afraid to speak too loudly. The missing person is Sandra Bullock. She was supposed to be the first one on set, like always. She was known for her discipline, her respect for every worker, from the director to the person who held the smallest cable. But today, her chair is empty. Her script is untouched. Her coffee cup is not on the table. She has vanished without a word. A soft tension spreads in the air. Everyone feels something is not right. The director starts calling her phone, but it goes straight to voicemail. He tries again, and again, but nothing changes. Some people think she is just late. Others look worried. One young assistant says she saw Sandra leaving the dressing room last night with tired eyes, but no one listened. Keanu Reeves stands near the set entrance, watching all of this in silence. He is calm, but not relaxed. He has known Sandra for many years. He knows she does not disappear without a reason. He also notices something no one else sees. Sandra left her phone behind on a small wooden table near the corner of the set. Keanu walks toward it slowly, like he is walking toward a clue in a mystery. He picks up the phone. The screen is still on. There is a message on it. Not sent, not deleted, just half-typed. The message says, "I think this is the end. I cannot do this anymore. I am sorry." Keanu stares at the words. They do not sound like Sandra. They sound like someone who is breaking from inside, someone who has been holding pain quietly for too long, someone who was about to walk away from everything without saying goodbye. He closes his eyes for a moment. Something inside him becomes heavy. He knows what burnout looks like. He has seen it in strangers, in fans, in co-stars, in himself long ago. The strongest people often break in silence. They do not scream. They do not demand attention. They just leave quietly. Keanu takes a slow breath and makes a decision without saying a single word. He does not call the producer. He does not inform the security. He does not post anything on social media. He just takes the phone and walks out of the set. No one stops him because they know he is not the kind of man who leaves without a purpose. As he steps outside, the world is still. The sky is turning from night to early morning light. Birds are waking up. But Keanu feels something else waking up inside him. A quiet urgency. A mission. Not for fame, not for headlines, but for friendship. Keanu knows Sandra has only 3 places she goes when life gets too loud. A small bookstore she visits when she needs peace. A hidden garden where she sits when she feels lost. And an old rehearsal hall where she practices when she needs to remember who she really is. He goes to the bookstore first. The owner, an old gentleman, remembers seeing Sandra a few hours earlier. She bought no book. She only stood in the poetry section, reading random lines like she was trying to find a message inside them. Then she left. Keanu thanks him politely and leaves, walking fast, almost running, but without panic. He knows he is getting close, but he also knows something is wrong at a deeper level. Sandra did not look lost. She looked empty. The next stop is the garden, a quiet place, hidden behind old brick walls. The wind moves softly through the trees, but Sandra is not there. The bench is empty, but a small detail catches Keanu's eyes. There is a folded paper cup on the ground. Sandra always folds her cup before throwing it away. It is her silent habit. She was here, not long ago. Keanu closes his eyes again. He is not giving up. The third place is the rehearsal hall. It is far from the city. No cameras, no interviews, just silence and memories. On his way there, the camera shows Sandra, alone, sitting on a wooden floor in that same hall, not crying, not speaking, just breathing like every breath hurts a little. She is holding her knees close, staring at nothing, and every part of her body looks tired. Not body tired, soul tired, she whispers to herself. Maybe the world will not miss me. Maybe I already gave everything I had. Her voice breaks on the last word. She does not hear the door open slowly behind her. She does not know that someone refused to let her disappear. She does not know that Keanu Reeves has arrived, and she has no idea that one single line from one quiet friend will change everything. But that moment has not happened yet. The story has just begun. The door of the old rehearsal hall opens with a soft sound, and Sandra slowly lifts her head. She looks tired, like she has not slept in days. Her eyes search the room, and when she sees Keanu standing there, she looks confused, almost shocked. She was not expecting anyone, especially not him. Keanu does not rush toward her. He walks slowly, respectfully, like someone stepping into a fragile moment. He sits beside her on the wooden floor, leaving a bit of space, just enough to show he is there, but not forcing anything. For a long moment, neither of them speaks. The silence is not empty. It is full of things Sandra has been holding inside, and things Keanu already understands without words. Sandra finally whispers, "How did you find me?" Keanu looks at her gently and says, "Friends do not need maps." Those words break something inside her, not in a painful way, in a releasing way. She tries to smile, but it shakes and disappears. She takes a slow breath and speaks again. "I did not want anyone to see me like this." Keanu does not interrupt. He does not tell her she is strong. He does not say everything will be fine. He knows that broken people do not need instant comfort. They need someone who listens without trying to fix them. Sandra finally lets it out. "I feel tired, Keanu. Not the kind of tired sleep can fix. I feel like I am pretending to be okay when I am not. I keep trying to smile so no one gets worried, but it is heavy. It is so heavy." Her voice shakes, but she keeps talking. "I used to love acting. I used to feel fire in every scene. But lately, I feel like I am just passing through life. I am surrounded by people, yet I feel alone. I cannot do it anymore. I feel like I am failing people." She looks at him with eyes full of guilt. "And the worst part is, I do not even know what is wrong with me." Keanu listens. Every word sits in the air like soft rain. He does not say, "You are not failing." He does not try to fight her feelings. He lets her speak until her voice becomes quiet again. Then he asks a simple question. "When did you start feeling like this?" Sandra thinks for a long time before answering. "It started when that young actress lost her role," she says softly. "Everyone said I was the reason. They said I took her chance. They said Hollywood only keeps the old faces and crushes the new ones. I tried to help her. I tried to mentor her. But the world twisted it, and now she is gone. And I feel like I ruined her future without meaning to." Keanu looks at her, calm but focused. "And you believed them?" Sandra laughs, but it is not a real laugh. It is the sound of someone who is hurt and confused. "I do not know what to believe anymore," she says. "Kindness feels punished. Silence feels judged. And every camera feels like a reminder that I cannot make a mistake." She looks at the floor. "So I decided to quit. Quit acting. Quit trying. Quit carrying this weight." Keanu stays silent for a few seconds. Not because he has nothing to say, but because he is choosing his words carefully. He is not here to make speeches. He is here to protect a soul that forgot its worth. Then he speaks in a voice that is gentle but strong enough to be remembered. "If you walk away, it will not be because you failed. It will be because you stopped seeing who you really are." Sandra looks at him, confused. "And who am I?" Keanu answers with no hesitation. "You are someone who still cares even after being hurt. That is not weakness. That is power." Those words make her eyes fill, but she still does not cry. She is not ready. She is still holding the pain like a stone inside her. Keanu reaches into his pocket and takes out her phone. The unfinished message still shows on the screen. Sandra looks at it and turns her face away like she is ashamed to even see it. Keanu does not judge. He simply locks the phone and keeps it in his hand. "You do not have to explain anything today," he says. "But you also do not have to walk through this alone." He stands up and holds out his hand. "Come with me." Sandra hesitates. "Where?" Keanu gives a small, almost invisible smile. "To the truth." She feels something shift inside her. Not healing yet, not hope yet, but something like a beginning. She slowly takes his hand. Outside, the sky is brighter than before. The day has fully arrived, but Sandra still feels stuck between darkness and light. She follows Keanu because even if she does not trust herself right now, she still trusts him, and she has no idea that the truth he will lead her to will change everything she believes about herself, about that young actress, and even about the message she thought she would never finish. The suspense grows quietly. The story is only in its second part, but the heart of it is already beating. The car ride is silent, but it is not an empty silence. It is the kind of silence where thoughts speak louder than words. Sandra sits in the passenger seat, watching the world move outside the window while Keanu drives with calm focus. She still does not know where he is taking her, but something inside her tells her to trust the journey. After a few minutes, Sandra finally breaks the silence. "Keanu, are you angry at me?" He shakes his head gently. "No, I am worried. There is a difference." His voice is steady like a soft anchor. Sandra looks at him for a moment, then looks away again. She is not used to someone caring without asking for anything in return. They stop in front of a quiet building. Not a studio. Not a house. It looks like a small community acting center. Simple, old, but warm. Sandra frowns slightly. "Why are we here?" Keanu opens the door and steps out before answering, because this is where the truth begins. Sandra follows him inside, still unsure, still heavy, but curious. The hall is filled with young actors practicing scenes, reading scripts, laughing, making mistakes without fear. There is no fame here, no critics, just passion. Then something happens. A young woman turns around, sees Sandra, and her eyes go wide. She runs toward her and hugs her tightly. This is the same young actress Sandra believed she destroyed. Sandra freezes in shock. She cannot even react. Her mind is trying to understand what she is seeing. The girl, breathless with excitement, says, "I thought I would never see you again. I wanted to thank you. Because of you, I got the lead role in an international project. They said my audition was strong, and that your guidance showed them my potential." Sandra is speechless. She pulls away slightly and stares at the girl, confused, lost, shaking. "Wait, what? I thought you were upset with me. I thought I ruined your chance." The girl smiles, not with anger, not with blame, but with gratitude. "You did the opposite. You saved me. When they removed me from that movie, I was crushed. But someone sent my portfolio to another studio. Someone defended me. Someone made sure I got another chance. I did not know who it was. Until today." She looks at Keanu, and Sandra realizes the truth. Keanu was the one. He had done all of this quietly. No interviews, no social media posts, no praise, no credit. He did not even tell Sandra. He just helped the girl because he knew Sandra would blame herself if he did not. Sandra slowly turns to him, emotions rising like a wave. "You did this? For her? For me?" Keanu simply nods. "You were blaming yourself for something that was already fixed. You were carrying pain that did not belong to you anymore." Sandra sinks onto a nearby chair, overwhelmed. She feels the weight inside her start to crack, not fully gone, but breaking open. She starts crying, but this time, the tears are mixed with relief. She whispers, "All this time, I thought I destroyed her future. All this time, I thought I failed." Keanu kneels in front of her and speaks softly. "You did not fail. You inspired someone without even knowing it. And sometimes the world does not show the good you have done until you are tired enough to walk away." She looks up at him with weak but honest eyes. "Then why did nobody tell me? Why did you not tell me?" Keanu answers with the simplest truth. Because real kindness does not need an audience. That line hits her deeper than anything else. She finally understands something she never saw before. The world did not turn against her. Her mind did. She believed the worst version of herself, and that belief almost ended her career, her purpose, her spirit. But now, the truth is in front of her, breathing, smiling, grateful. Sandra wipes her tears slowly. "I do not know what to say," Keanu replies gently. "You do not have to say anything today. Just stay. Watch. Remember who you are." She stays. She watches the young actors. She sees herself in them. She remembers the fire she once had. She feels something warm returning inside her. Not full yet, but waking up. The part ends with Sandra looking at Keanu, realizing something powerful. She was never alone. She just stopped noticing the people who silently believed in her, and the message that will save her is still waiting. The biggest reveal has not happened yet. The young actress returns to her practice, leaving Sandra and Keanu alone in the quiet corner of the hall. But now something has changed inside Sandra. Her eyes are still tired, but the darkness in them is softer, less sharp, less hopeless. She is not healed yet, but she is no longer drowning. She looks at Keanu with a face full of questions. Why did you never tell me you helped her? Why did you let me believe I ruined everything? Keanu does not rush to answer. He walks to the window and looks outside before replying. Because sometimes the truth is not ready to be heard. When you were hurting, you would not have believed me. You needed to see it yourself, not as comfort, but as proof. Sandra looks down, thinking about his words, and she knows he is right. If he had told her earlier, she might have doubted it. Her pain was too loud back then, she whispers. I lost faith in myself. Keanu turns and replies softly, Then it is time to find it again. He walks back to her slowly, and for the first time since she left the film set, Sandra breathes like someone who wants to stay alive. But the story is not done, because just when she starts to feel a quiet relief, a voice from the doorway breaks the moment. Sandra? Is it really you? An older woman, one of the senior acting teachers from the early days of Sandra's career, walks in. Her face lights up with pure emotion when she sees Sandra. She had trained Sandra when Sandra was young, unknown, full of dreams. She walks to her and holds her hands. You were the one who told me talent means nothing without heart, the woman says. And now half the world repeats your lines in acting schools. You do not even know how many people you have inspired. Sandra feels weak again, but this time because she is overwhelmed by kindness, not pain. She asks a question almost in shock. Then why do I feel like I am disappearing? The old teacher gives an answer that goes straight into the core of her struggle. Because when a person gives light to others for too long, they forget to keep a little for themselves. Sandra closes her eyes. Every word is true. She has spent years lifting others, staying strong, being graceful, being polite, being professional, being perfect. But she stopped refilling her own heart. The teacher continues. But the world has not forgotten you. The only one forgetting your worth was you. Keanu watches quietly. He never interrupts moments that belong to the soul. Sandra slowly begins to understand something important. She was not destroyed by hate. She was exhausted by love. She never gave to herself, and this realization breaks her open in a new way. She is not crying from fear anymore. She is crying because she is finally seeing a truth she missed for years. She wipes her tears and takes a slow, deep breath. And then something strong happens. She stands up, not like someone fully healed, but like someone who has decided to try again. She looks at Keanu and says in a steady voice, I am not ready yet. I still feel weak, but I do not want to disappear anymore. Keanu nods once, proud, calm, respectful. That is enough. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is just choosing to stay. The scene ends with Sandra walking toward the rehearsal floor, not to act, but to sit among the young actors, as if reminding herself what the beginning felt like. The camera follows her slow steps. The music fades to quiet tension, because now the audience wants to know. If she has seen the truth, then what will Keanu's one-line message be? Why did he wait so long to send it? Why was that single sentence enough to change her life? The answer is not ready yet. The next part will reveal the power of words that do not fix a person, but remind them of who they really are. The sun is beginning to set outside the acting center. The warm orange light falls through the tall windows, touching the floor where Sandra now sits among the young actors. She does not speak, she only watches them. Each one is full of dreams, mistakes, nervous laughter, and hope. It is like looking at a mirror of her past. Keanu stands a little distance away, giving her space, but staying close enough to step in if she needs it. Sandra studies the faces of the students. Their eyes are bright. Their voices are unafraid. They are not thinking about fame or failure. They are thinking about the scene in front of them. They are alive in the moment, not trapped in judgment the way she has been. One of the younger actors walks up to her and smiles shyly. I learned acting because of you, he says. Your performance in that old movie made me believe emotions can save people. Sandra feels a quiet shock run through her. She did not know she meant that much to strangers. She did not know her work had saved anyone. She has only been hearing the voices of critics, not the voices of hearts she once touched. She answers softly, "Thank you. You do not know how much that means." The boy smiles and returns to practice. Keanu walks over and sits beside her, both of them watching the room. "Do you see it now?" he asks gently. Sandra nods, but her voice is still low. "I see that I was wrong about many things. I thought I was fading, but maybe I was just tired. Maybe I needed to remember why I started." Keanu lets her speak. She is not breaking anymore. She is rebuilding. "I told myself the world moved on without me," she says. "But the truth is, I walked away from myself first." She takes a slow breath and looks at Keanu. "I still do not know if I am ready to go back to filming." Keanu nods. "That is okay. Healing is not a race." Sandra thinks about that. She is not pressured this time. She is not performing strength. She is choosing honesty, but before she can say anything else, her phone vibrates in Keanu's hand. He looks at it, then looks at her. "I think now is the right time," he says quietly. He unlocks the phone and hands it back to her. On the screen is a single. "Message, 1 line, 1 sentence, typed by Keanu, never sent, never. Spoken, waiting for the right moment." Sandra looks at the screen but does not read it yet. Her hands are shaking. She feels something rising in her chest. Fear, hope, something in between. Keanu speaks in a calm voice, almost like a guide leading her toward a truth she is finally ready to hold. "Before you read it, remember something. This one line is not meant to fix you. It is meant to remind you of what you forgot." The camera closes in. Sandra stares at the message. She takes a breath. Her thumb hovers over the screen like she is opening a door she once sealed shut. She reads the one line, but the viewer does not see it yet. Her face changes, first shock, then confusion, then stillness, then emotion so deep it looks like her whole past is collapsing and rebuilding at the same time. Her eyes fill her. Chest rises sharply. Her lips shake. She closes her eyes and holds the phone like it is something sacred. Keanu watches her silently. He already knows what the line means. But the audience does not yet, because the final reveal must happen in part 6. All we see is Sandra whispering to herself, "I forgot that about myself." And the screen fades slowly, leaving the viewers desperate to know, what did that one line say? How can one sentence bring someone back from the edge? Why did it change everything? The answer will not just be a twist, it will be a truth the viewer feels in their own life. The story now stands on the edge of the final moment. The message is revealed in the next part, and it will be the emotional peak of the entire series. The screen fades back in. Sandra is still holding the phone. Her eyes are full, not with sadness now, but with something softer, something returning. Her breathing is slow but deep, like a person finally remembering the shape of their own strength. Keanu sits beside her, not speaking, not pushing. He knows the weight of the moment. He knows sometimes silence is the most respectful form of support. Sandra finally opens her eyes. She looks at him with a kind of disbelief. "You wrote this?" she asks, her voice almost a whisper. Keanu nods slowly. Sandra looks at the screen again. The audience can now see the message for the first time. The one-line message says, "You are still the person who gave me hope when I had none." That is the whole sentence. No speech, no lecture, no advice, just a reflection of truth she forgot. And for the first time since the story began, Sandra truly breaks, not from pain but from recognition, because she suddenly remembers something she buried years ago. She remembers a young Keanu Reeves, before fame fully reached him, before the world saw him as a symbol of kindness. She remembers him as a quiet actor who doubted himself, who felt out of place, who once told Sandra he was afraid he would never be good enough. And she remembers what she told him back then. She told him, "You do not have to be perfect to be meaningful. You already matter because of the way you treat people." She had forgotten those words, but Keanu never did. In fact, those words helped him survive moments he never shared publicly. When he felt alone, when he lost loved ones, when the world misunderstood him, he held on to what she once told him. Sandra had given him hope first, long before she ever knew she would need it back. And now, he was returning it, not with grand gestures, not with speeches, not with the world watching, but with a single sentence because real kindness does not echo loudly. It circles back quietly. In the moment we need it most, Sandra is crying now, but the tears feel different. There is no shame in them. They are the tears of someone remembering who she was before the world made her doubt. She whispers, "I saved you once, and you saved me now." Keanu smiles gently. That is what friends do. Not in public, not for applause, just because it matters. The young actors in the room do not interrupt. They feel the moment without fully understanding it, but they know they are watching something real. Sandra stands up slowly, steady, breathing like she has found a missing part of her soul. She looks around the room. Not like someone who wants to quit, but like someone who is ready to begin again. She turns to Keanu. "I want to go back to set," she says. Keanu nods with calm pride. "Then we go back. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. And that is the real victory, not the return to acting, not the success, not the applause, but the return of belief. The camera follows them as they walk out of the acting center. The sky is turning to evening, but this time the fading light does not feel like an ending. It feels like a new beginning. As they reach the door, Sandra stops and says one final line that seals the journey. "One sentence did not save my career. It saved my heart." The screen fades to black. A soft text appears. Sometimes the most powerful message is a reminder of the good you already did. Quiet kindness saves more people than the world will ever see.